guys, it is SmoothOpurrator, and today I'm taking you guys through the third part of the Soulframe of an Envoy's journey. To start off with, just a refresh from the second part of the series, we started over in the very western corner of the map, just over this area. We went through the first part of obtaining the Juniper bow fragment and getting one of the first memories of our grandpapa. And to find that one, you can go through the journal phase and it will show you a fable. And with this particular series, I've chosen to start this series with the Tethrin Pact, which is part of the Kith of Kings faction. So to access your journal and to find the, I guess, quest or fable and the direction that the game wants to take you. In the last series, in the part 2, we did a few bits and pieces of finding the Juniper bow. So we've obtained the first part over at this location. And then to find our very first Ancestor is over at this area here, which is the College of Pensives. Now, as you can see, the name tag is not showing any of the names just yet. It hasn't translated because I haven't gone through and show you guys how to obtain the motes that are floating little gold orbs around a particular point of interest. But what we did do in that aspect was collect the quill for the Bikmoral Ancestor Orlick and his creepy baby, which I will show you now. It is a very interesting concept of the character, but he is a very, very cool character. So once you obtain that fable and complete it, you come into your Nightfold and this area will appear as well. So we'll just go over to Orlick and he'll probably have something to say, and so will his creepy baby.
Greetings and greetings.
Now, what he does as an Ancestor is he obtains information that you come across throughout your journey. All of these locations are the locations that I've currently found within the world, and as you can see down the very bottom, there's the world tree locations. I've been able to activate 2 of the trees in the world map so far, and we'll probably be coming across a 3rd tree and possibly a 4th one today through today's guide. With these areas, they will get like a little exclamation point just letting you know, hey, you've found this area. But for now, we haven't been able to translate any of the information within the journal or the codex so far. To note though, you do obtain like a glowing sigil just on this tab area on the left hand side. So in our last part, we got to meet Avocot, and we completed the Garan Rude quest, the Tormented Stag, and we got to meet Lady Diora as well. So these two are essentially best friends who've grown up together, and you get to see a lot of the really cool action that those two can basically dish out within that fable. And Orlick the Bikmoral, he is our cartographer, map creator, journalist, historian. He's a very, very cool character. I really enjoy his role within Soulframe as well. With the Fables tab over in this area of the journal or the codex, you can see that you can replay the fable of the Tormented Stag at any given time, whenever you want to. If you feel like rerunning it, if there's been any new bits and pieces that have been added with, say, like every Preludes update or a hotfix that comes through from Soulframe, feel free to just jump in, replay that fable. I'm not going to do that for this one because we are on a time frame and I want to be as efficient as I possibly can. And then just lastly, with the war songs, this is the particular chapter that you can come to within your journal, and you can replay and you can change the hair color, the eye color, and the skin tone of your Envoy's model. So for this particular series and run through, I chose to use a female form, which I think is quite good. Like the detail for the hair, the skin, the nails is very well done. as is the male form as well. But to note though, within the war songs, you can't actually change the you can't change the frame that you've chosen initially. So once you've locked into that, that one unfortunately cannot be changed. So today we'll be going through the invitation. So I'll be going through to find the Kith of Kings, so I can take you guys through that. And this is the Nightfold, the area, the hub that you come to change all of your equipment, weapons, armor, totems, or idols that you collect within the game. This is the weapon rack here. And what it allows you to do is, if you need to, and the game says to you, hey, you've collected enough weapons, you need to purchase another slot, you can basically purchase one of these for your premium currency. So at the moment, you start with about 100 premium currency, and you can increase your weapon slot capacity as well. For the most part, up to date at the moment, it's not necessary to purchase a Pact capacity slot, but with the weapon capacity, I have come across my playthrough so far, there is one slot that I've had to purchase, and I've chosen to do that, and I have the full weapon roster within the game at the moment. But I'll take you through the, I guess, the UI of the Envoy. Up to your top left, you see the current character level or mastery rank of your Envoy, your premium currency, and all of your Drax, which is the universal currency. It drops like candy in this game. Very, very nice. With your starter kit, whoever you choose, whether it's the Kith of Kings or Tethrin Pact, you can check your medallion, which gives me a stat boost of 1 courage to my Envoy. If you come down to this icon here, this is where you increase and see your bond level. So the more enemies that you kill, the more enemies you come across, the more experience you gain, you build this bond, and that ranks up to rank 30. And to go through some of the abilities of the Tethrin Pact, the Fellist is a really, really cool first starting ability. It increases your cumulative damage that you output to your enemies, and it's quite quick to regenerate as well. So I'll showcase that as we go through the walkthrough this morning, and it increases your consecutive melee strikes against enemies as well, which is really, really nice. I'm also got the Call of Ancients, which is singing a song, attracting attention from enemies. This is essentially an increased damage and defense, and it's really good to use, so I would recommend as a combo for this particular pact, pop your 2 just before you jump into battle, and then pop this one as well, so you get increased damage and increased defense. But I am on the way to obtaining the 3rd ability, which is Clash. Currently at Bond 8, I don't have access to that up until Bond 10. So we'll level that up, just so at least we get the full roster of abilities. And you can jump into upgrade as well. And as you can see, I've already filled out some of the skill tree for the Tethrin Pact. And up on the top right, you can see you've got a roster of 4 points remaining that you can implement into the Pact. So just to go through this particular Pact's skill tree, this one, it's kind of like a life absorb. Conqueror, as the name tag says, absorb a small portion of life from enemies you fell. So after each kill, you absorb a little bit of health from an enemy as well. You can see to the right of the name tag of Conqueror up the top on the right hand side, I can put 2 more skill points into that one if I choose to. The Last Stand is holding your ground. Low life triggers increased attack damage, which is really, really nice. And as a starting Envoy, you're not gonna have a lot of a large health pool, so that would be very useful for this particular pact. And you will see this one here, Akin. This is a very, very good node to fill out as soon as you possibly can. What this one does is basically just reduces the time it takes for your Arcanic powers to recharge, which is really, really nice. So you can activate all of your skills on a much faster rotation. And I've still got 3 points to spend. Generally, for the most of the Pact skill trees, you've got these 3 nodes all the way up here. You've got Mora's Pride, increasing your courage. You've got the Iridis's Favor, which is gaining Spirit, which is essentially like a duration of your abilities. And lastly, we've got Safine's Gift, which is Grace, which is more of, say, like your range of your abilities. So if you want to increase the ability range of a Pact, you definitely can. I generally don't put too many points into these 3 points, but you'll see on the very top tree at the very end, Power and Unity, maximum life increased. This one is really useful, but as you can see, I'm clicking on this, I cannot open that. I have to spend at least 1 point in these 2 nodes up the top tree to be able to follow into Everbound, so I can't touch that just yet. As a starting Envoy as well, the bottom tree or the wingspan node, it increases your Sparrow's soul's lifespan essentially, so it gives you more time to be able to get back to your Envoy's frame. So I would probably say utilize that one to start with. You probably will be finding that depending on the enemy level that you're going up against, it can be a little bit tough and you will find yourself getting downed. The good thing to note about that is that you don't get punished if you die. Basically, you don't lose experience, you don't lose any sort of Drax or anything like that. That may possibly change in future, but for now, there's no penalty to being downed. So, and there's no shame in getting up again. That's the whole point of the game. With the Voided node as well, this is damage dealing on a smite mechanic, and I'll be showing you guys what that means. And lastly, we've also got Sympathy, which is a regain life on a smite move. So I really like this one, especially when I'm leveling a Pact as well. So I'm gonna pop a node point into that one. So at present, that's what I'm up to, and we'll keep that one just as it is there. So we've just gone through the Pact. We also have something called the Combat Arts. This tree is basically the full rotation of all the weapons that we currently have within Soulframe. I assume that this is going to be expanded over time. So to keep it simple, this is the Longblade skill tree, and the very first node is Smite, which is awesome. This is going to basically create a higher return of critical strikes to the soul, meaning Smite is just a different term for critical strike. But what this means, for a short duration, the enemies will glow a particular color, whether it's blue, green, or red. You can steal that exposed soul and deal quite a bit of damage to them, but because of the node that I upgraded within Tethrin with Sympathy, you regain life on Smite. So what that means essentially in a broken down fashion is if I smite an enemy and I steal their soul, I'm going to get health regenerated fully and the corresponding color to that particular glow that they have, whether it's red, green, or blue. If I've utilized, say, like my first ability, which is the red color, Fellist, and the enemy starts glowing red, it's a random chance for whatever color that you get. But if it drops on a red color and the soul is shining red, I pull that soul out of the enemy, and I will regenerate my very first ability completely. So it'll remove the cooldown, instant regen, and it'll also regenerate my health very quickly as well, and I'll go back to full health. So I'll be showcasing that one as well. With Helmgong, it's pretty good. It's a fully charged heavy attack. I don't generally use a lot of heavy attacks, but they are very useful. You do have the node, which is Perfect Throw, which is releasing your weapon at the right time for more damage, which is quite nice. The Riposte is more of a melee-focused parry, which is quite good, to be honest. I've been getting into it a little bit more. So if you like a little bit more kind of dirty kind of fighting melee style, this one is quite a good one to choose as well. Vaunt is just increased chance of smite on ripostes. So say, for example, an enemy is coming at you and then you parry them and do a perfect parry, then you can come back and do an attack, and you can essentially do a chance of smite and then pull their soul out and regenerate your health as well, and you can keep the combat flow going. Swift parry, that's just increasing the parry window, which is quite good, to be honest. And then lastly, we've got the unyielding, which is you can parry heavy enemy attacks. that one's quite good, especially against the heavy units that we'll probably come across, the bannerets, possibly bosses, but I haven't had a lot of testing within that just yet. With the pointed greeting, it's increased smite on perfect throws, which is quite nice as well. Hellgong, that's just your charged heavy attack, so we'll take that one just for now. The very bottom, momentum, deal more damage on consecutive attacks. That one's also very useful, so I'll be picking that up once we've got the right amount of experience points. Headlong, heavy attacks charge more quickly. That's also a very useful one for the long blades. The Spectre Strike is quite an interesting one. It's based off a perfect dodge. I haven't really used this particular one that much, but I am open to testing that one up just to see how that one runs. And then lastly, we've got Final Blow, increasing the chance of smite on finishes. So essentially what that means is if an enemy gets pushed over and is on the ground, and then you can stab them, they may end up getting smitten, and you can steal their soul as well. So that's just the general rundown of the long blade, so I'll keep that focused for now. As you can see, you do have other skill trees or combat arts for the polearms, the fly blades, short blades. You've got the sword and board or shield, and then you've got bows as well. Bows are really, really nice, so hopefully by the end of this one, we'll have the third fragment of the Juniper bow, and hopefully I have enough resources to be able to craft that one with the Ancestor that we're going to be picking up today. And then just to quickly touch base on a few of the other nodes that are within the UI, you've got your chest pieces as well. And as we go through leveling up the character, or the account basically, we do come across new armor pieces with different defensive stats. So that one is up the top right of your UI here. Currently I'm at an 18 stat point spread, and the top little icon is the physical defense, the middle is our magic defense, and then the last is the stability of our Envoy, meaning the higher stat that we have in that, the more attack hits that we can take from enemies, the less we get staggered or pushed over basically. And then just down at the very bottom here, this is where our weapon is. You can see all of the different stats. Its attunement is to courage as well. So coming up to the very top one, which is the virtues, this is a really important skill tree to go through, and I'll explain why. Essentially what your virtues do is give you more investment and damage output to your packs and your abilities, and also your weapon damage as an example. So what I mean by that as well is, say we look at the attunement, it's a 1-star courage, and the attack is currently at 52. So say for example, if I take a few points from say like spirit and I pop that into courage, what that should do is show me a little bit more of a higher stat with the attunement for courage. So it's gone up to the 55 attack, 88 charged, and down the bottom of this list you can see the smite chance, which is 1 in 25 hits. It's not too bad for the weapon to have a higher smite chance, because the more smite chance that we have, the more souls you can absorb, the longer you can stay in battle, essentially. For this setup at the moment, just for leveling, you can put all of it into courage if you wish to. What I'm going to do is just keep it at the minimum requirement of 10, and then for duration for my abilities I'm going to put 5 into spirit. So spirit encompasses the longevity of the use of our pact abilities. So the higher spirit that we have, the longer your abilities will last. And for the Tethrin Pact, to note, the Fellest ability is more of a hit-based mechanic. So you get roughly about 5 hits after you cast, and even if you miss an enemy or a throw, a melee throw with your weapon, it will count as a hit, so it will reduce that. But the good thing is that we've got the akin node actively put on, and now that that's maxed, we'll be able to use our pact abilities a lot more effectively and more efficiently, because we've got a full rotation of getting that cooldown done quicker. With the Call of Ancients, it will last a little bit longer as well, and with Clash, that's more of like a quick stagger aura, which is quite good. So we don't really need to focus too much on the duration of this one. But the Call of Ancients, you can increase it a little bit more. But for the Tethrin Pact, I mostly do focus more points that I acquire for the virtues more into the courage stat than I do for the grace. It doesn't necessarily have any range-based abilities as yet. That could change over time. So I keep that quite low. So I balance it more so and direct it more so to courage and a little bit more spirit. So I'm going to aim to get it roughly about 10 points into spirit, and then the rest of the points I'm going to be putting into the courage tree. Just in the middle of the virtues tree, this is our life points. So I've currently got about 190 health points to acquire, and that's not too bad as a starting envoy, but that will increase as the more we gain experience for our weapon. It's currently at rank 8. That one can also rank up to rank 30. And in future videos, we'll be talking about reforging. It is instantaneous, and there are a new item in the game that expand a little bit more of our capability of damage output, melee range, charged attacks, etc. So we'll get into that on a different time. But the combat arts is essentially where you need to level up whatever weapon class that you're using. This will help boost your envoy's damage output in a nutshell, essentially. Up on this node, we've got your helm, all the different helms if you want to use helms or whatever you like. And this is where we do our weapons as well. But you can check out a little bit more of the history or the notes of the particular weapon. But if you right click on this as well, you will open up a different UI. And this is the weapon tab through here. You've got your packs as well, and then you've also got motes. I don't have any motes in the game at the moment because this is a brand new starting journey of an envoy. That will be having a update roughly later this year as well. But I will talk about some of the modes that we do come across in the game as we progress as well. So that's pretty much most of what you need to know throughout the UI of setting up your envoy as well. So what we're going to go do now is we're going to go find the Kith of Kings, and we're going to do some sparrow tails, which are very, very handy to use. Now, with finding anything in the game, if you are having difficulty finding something within the game, utilize your Flappy Bird, and generally its UI or tracking will direct you towards your next goal or where the game is trying to take you. If Flappy Bird isn't really cooperating, you can see that little bird up on the compass at the very top of the screen. Follow that icon if the Flappy Bird decides to not work all that well. And this is where we found the second part of the Juniper bow. So I've already acquired that. That one is directly southeast of the College of Pensives. And I'm really looking forward to grabbing the third fragment as well. So, but firstly, we're just going to go through and meet the Kith of Kings. It is nighttime, luckily. So that means that there's an Ashen Spirit around, which is excellent. So we're going to have to take on a little bit of a boss to be able to enter the Kith of Kings as well. The movement of the envoy is quite good as well. So what I did is just initially use the Fellist ability. So I've got a lot more damage output for this guy as well. And as you can see, this guy's got a flame sword, which is not ideal for our envoy. But to re-heal, you can just chuck on a health potion or elixir, and then we'll get a little bit more defense, and we'll get more damage output happening as well. So the good thing about this boss, though, is that he definitely teaches you how to move pretty quickly as well. And the sword that you can see in his hand is kind of like a cheap version of the a sword that we can acquire later in the game as well. So it is wise to kind of make sure that you don't dance too close to him as well. You can see him throwing out the flame AoE that he's got. Luckily enough, it's not as powerful as some of the other stuff that we'll come across as well. So if you're having a bit of a trouble with him, you can do aim sights or use your block. And what you can do is just press your heavy attack, and that will throw your weapon, and you can press the same corresponding key, and you can recall your weapon. So we've almost got him taken down. There we go. Bye, buddy. And then you'll see his spirit fly off. And we've unlocked the King's faction with the Tethrin Pact. And this is one of my favorite factions in the game. The entry music just makes you feel like an absolute legend. So this is the faction hub for the Kith of Kings. So anyone starting within the game, this is your home, basically. It's a very, very cool theme, I would say. It's very gladiator-based. And as you can see, we see the Kith of Kings sitting up on top of his throne. And this is the sword that I was mentioning earlier that we just came up against with the Spectre, or the Ashen Spirit. This one's called the IGN More. It's a very, very cool sword, but I could talk about that sword all day. But what we're here to do is activate our journey with the faction of the Kith of Kings. And essentially what this faction is going to do is give us rewards for ranking up with them. You've got 5 ranks to get through. So in totality, going through and obtaining the experience via the faction tales, you rank up 25k standing, and that should give you enough standing and a little bit more so as well to be able to obtain some of the nice goodies that Fenjatar has for us. So we'll just talk to him and find out what he's got to say.
A great king's word ought be of honor, not a spark for mobs of horror. Amnesty. Amnesty. Where was my courage? So you know my shame. These ashen spirits were once my people, my pride, and I forced my Mora's hand to light their pyres. How could she forgive me? Yes, and only by marriage to Mora can it be so. But let her not see me this way.
So he seems to be adding a little bit of lore behind, he's got a lot of shame, and he refers to Mora, which we haven't the opportunity to meet just yet in-game. But hopefully eventually in future updates we do get a little bit more of a character and lore expansion as well.
My Madrath occupied again. Penance, perhaps? My soul, your frame, returned to reign. A noble war in Mora's name. Invaders burned by flint of shame. There I stand in her light again.
Mora is essentially the red sun that he's referring to. From my understanding, Mora is basically a sun god. So when you click on where do I stand, it will pull up this UI, and it will just give you a little bit of information about the Kith of Kings. A Phantom King returned to throne, reached in the fires of Mora. The Kith of Kings will reclaim Madrath by virtue of courage. Collaborators and all, hold high your sword, Kataran, let penance be paid. You start off at a neutral position with any of the factions in the game. So currently I'm at neutral, level 0, and I want to rank up to level 5. If you pop down to view favors, you can see the generation of the items that you can obtain in the game. So if you're starting off with the Kith of Kings, my understanding from these two placeholders of the Drax, not necessarily necessary for you to acquire. The Drax is just the in-game currency that you obtain from enemies, boss fights, everywhere in the world. You can smash anything that you want, and basically Drax drop like candy. You will see that you can obtain the Tethrin Pact, and that costs 100 standing with this faction. That one, I believe, is roughly like a rank 1 reward, and is like the pack that I do have. However, if you've started on the Spirit Journey or the Grace Journey, you can essentially switch to a different faction. Meaning, say for example, if I've started with either of those two, and I come here, then I have to rank up, and you can do this so with the Silent Rose, which is the Grace-based faction, or the Children of Alka. You can start with the Acelda Pact, and then you can come here, and it takes about a week for that timer to reset in-game. So do be aware of that. My recommendation at present for any of the factions is to rank up fully with that faction, and whilst you're doing that as well, is to obtain a Sacred Shimmer, which costs you roughly 3,000 standing, and that standing you acquire through the Sparrow Tails that you come across within the world. What I did with my initial playthrough is rank up to rank 3, and as I was ranking up, I purchased at least 2 of these, and it gives you the opportunity, once you acquire a totem for a different faction, you can utilize these within the Ancestor that we're going to meet. And what that will do is allow you to create that totem to give you access to a new faction. But we'll come to that when I've actually got access to the Ancestor. And I'll show you guys how that works. The Blazon Placard and the Flamekin Kilt, they are not necessarily worth purchasing at all and wasting your standing on. To note, the IGN More Fragments are 2,000 standing or faction rep points. These do drop within the open world as well. Say, for example, you've obtained 3 of them and you're finding it really hard to find the 4th one, and you're part of the Kith of Kings, you could purchase the last one, and if you've got enough of the right materials to build that weapon, you should be able to just come here, claim that, and build that with the Ancestor that we'll be going after today. And then lastly as well, Mora's Hand. This is one of the other packs that you can obtain within the game. This one at present is really fun, but it does have a few different bits and pieces, I believe, that the team at DE are looking at for the Mora's Hand. But for anyone jumping into the faction, it is worth picking up the Pact, because it does help to increase the bond with our Ancestor that we'll be obtaining today as well. So I'll just back out of there, and we will say goodbye to Fendertar for now. And very cool animation, he just turns back into stone. I will show a little secret as well. If you come behind the statue of Fendertar, you'll see this dais here. I can't quite remember if I had to find a particular note. This is for a particular event in the game at present called the Cicade, which is essentially that ghostly form or the Ashen Spirit that we came across at the entryway for the Kith of Kings. I can't remember if I actually had to find a note, but I'm just going to test it and see if it actually works. If you stand on this dais and you do a deep bow, I'm hoping it may actually do what I need it to. Excellent, it does. It opens up a very secret door, and you will find a note within this chest here as well. So we'll go pick that one up. And just make sure that you collect everything within the chest as well. And this is the note that we have. It's the Seadale, one strength the mist, her eyes roiled round and spoke this. Rise will he in Phantoms 3, object our claim, but steeped in greed. Quit be crippled, binds be cleft, where magic's wink, lay each last to rest. That's a little bit of a clue to say, hey, we've got some phantoms that we've got to go find. So we will be coming towards that at some point. and then we can exit this little area here as well. So this is just a little bit more of a time efficient way of finding that. To note though, I did have prior knowledge of this particular cicada event, and it's definitely well worth doing as well. So what we'll do is just exit the Kith of Kings, and we'll open up our journal, and we'll see where our fable wants to take us next. And just a note too, more arises. That means the red sun is out, so it's now daytime. So the daytime, nighttime, and evening time is generally on a rotated roster of roughly about 30 minutes. And that will become apparently important, especially with the note that we just picked up. And I'll explain that in that later video as well. So the cool thing about being able to sneak up behind enemies, you're not really wasting a lot of time, and you're getting a really efficient amount of XP from these guys too. Alright, have we got any heavy units? We do not. Shielded enemies can block your melee throws, as can the SInecure, who just have, you know, short blades, axes, etc. The red enemy that's in front of me here, he is carrying some dual short blades that we do get access to, the Unsula. They're very, very good starter blades as well, and luckily enough, we get quite a lot of those fragments dropping from them as well. And keep out an eye for any of the chests that they're guarding or sitting around, and that is pretty much the faction part of this area done. Now that I've joined the Kith of Kings, it's opened up a Sparrowtail, and what these do is open up a little pathway of little mini quests, and at the end we generally have a boss. So I'll take you guys through this one and show you how this works. They come in 3 different tiers. You've got a 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star, and the 3 stars are the more difficult ones, but they do give you a higher reward and return, say for fragments or any particular materials as well. They are a random drop chance, so it's not an absolute guarantee of what you're going to get, but that does compound over time, which is a good thing. So the more you explore the world of Madrath, the more items you're going to come across and you're going to acquire as well. And then this is one of the little bags that just dropped, and predominantly you'll be getting a lot of Drax. So you're not going to be in a bad spot eventually within the game, especially with your crafting with our Ancestor that we'll be coming across. And there are these little things just on the ground here. These ones are called the Quenching Acid, and they're very, very common across the plane. So this is the 2-star Sparrowtail that we're going to run through. So all you've got to do is just select on them and then continue. And then the representative of whatever faction that you're part of will just pop up and have a little bit of a spiel. So what we're going to do is look at the icons that have been displayed. We've got to go through the intercept the messenger, steal the Odin intel. So we're looking for a little bit of paperwork here. So generally the enemy that has them is this white-clad enemy, and they've got a little backpack on them as well. So if you don't really want to jump in and do like a melee attack on them, you can throw your melee weapon at them. And these guys are generally pretty low level, so they shouldn't be too much of an issue for you to take down. And we got the paperwork. Excellent. And for these guys here, you can get some XP from them. If you use your soul mode, you can see that they light the 2 face marks just up the top right and left there. You can aim, and then you can throw your melee weapon, and hopefully you can hit it and not miss it, unlike myself. And it will give you roughly about 1000 XP each time. So we've already picked up a few of the Vasp halberd fragments as well, and that's more than enough of the fragments that we need to be able to craft that particular weapon. So we'll just go into the next part of the Sparrowtail, which is entering the Undercity. So we just chuck out the Flappy Bird, do the really cool snappy animation, And hopefully the little guy wants to show us where we're going, but he doesn't. So the good thing is we can use the icon on the compass here, and we can jump down that hole. But before we do that, this is what I was mentioning before, the moats around the points of interest as well. They're golden sun-like little orbs. These are essentially like soul memories that you'll come across most of the different areas of the island of Madrath, basically. So this area here, as you can see, has no translation at the moment. If you just use soul mode, you can absorb these little guys. And as you can see up the top, we've just unlocked 2 of the different letters for this particular area. And if you run around the area, you should be able to acquire at least 1 or 2 more. So the second one is just up here. And this place is called Ulmul. The only reason why I know that is because I've obviously played through before. But there should be a third one that we'll come across as well. There's generally around 3 moats per each location, and they are worth picking up. As a side note, you probably can, for more efficient kind of farming of them. Oh, the Oran Umber. Nice pickup on that one. There we go. We got some experience, and we've released the little rabbits around here too. Have fun. There should be roughly another moat around here as well. If it doesn't show up, don't worry about it too much. What you potentially could do is log in and then log out and then log back into the game again. And what that will do is refresh the instance that you're in, and it should refresh the moats in and around the area. But as I can see, it does not look like that we've got the third moat hanging around at the moment. So what we could do is come out through the back of Ulmul, and this is another entrance to a different faction. You can see the little idol here as well, and an inscription on the shrine reads, "Beloved when lost but loathed at home, I crave a jewel born not from stone." I do enjoy a lot of the different little bits and pieces of lore. Basically, it's asking you for a river pearl. So if you give a river pearl to this idol, this is the second faction, or initial starting faction that you'll come across. And this is the entrance to the Children of Alka. So as you can see, it's accepted my offering. And I'll just take you guys in there as well. And oh, the UI is bugged. Lovely. Nope, there we go. So once that opens up, you can come down here. And this is a beautiful, beautiful faction. Really, really nature-based, very beautiful, really well done. Like the lighting in here is just so beautiful. And then you can see these awesome little dudes, the Avocots. They've got the little grass blades and their little masks. They're ready to protect and defend. But welcome to the Children of Alka.
Oi! Out you burrows! Let's see some spirit for our new customer, I mean...
And as we went through the last part of the Envoy's journey, this is Avocot here. He's just hanging out, doing his thing. But for the most part, at the moment, I cannot access them because I haven't done enough to satiate being able to join this faction just yet. I just wanted to show you guys where it's located within the world. So what I'll do is jump out and we'll continue our journey into the Undercity. And there we go. We've got the Tethrin Pact, and we've unlocked the new Magic Clash. The reason why that has shown up, though, is because I've taken on enough of the enemies. It's not because I've just entered into the faction that we just visited, the Alka's Children. So what I'll do, I'll jump back into the Knifefold, and I will see if I've got any extra points within the Pact. as well. So we'll just check on the upgrade. So we've obtained 2 more points. We're also at the bond level of 10. So that means we have full access to all of the abilities of the Pact at the moment. And what I might do is chuck that one into Sympathy. So now that we've got that one maxed up, every time that we do a smite on a enemy, we'll be able to regenerate more health more effectively. So what I'll do is just jump up through here, and we'll jump into the Undercity, which is just located just through here. These guys are actually pretty funny. That one's just been a blue smite, so I just pulled the soul out of him, and we've just been able to regenerate some health as well. So hopefully I get a few more smites happening for you guys, just so I can showcase it a little bit more. The heavy units are actually quite good for smite, and the health regen and the damage output that you can pull their soul out of them is really handy as well. There we go. So I am on fire at the moment, but I've been able to minimize that. If you throw your weapon away, you will default to a hand-to-hand combat, which is not ideal, but I'm going to see how effective it is with the without the sword. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but if you need your sword back, just click your heavy attack button, and it should return your sword as well. Really cool mechanic, and there we go. I wasn't able to stagger him with the Clash ability, the third ability, only because he was shielding as well. So they're usually pretty easy to take down. Oh, we got some flashing lights. Lovely. Alright, so now that we're entering into the Undercity, this will be the next part of our journey as well. And we've got little Avocot. So essentially what he's telling us is, hey, we've lost some of our friends, you need to go find them. So I will acquiesce to his request and just say, I will find your friends. And what he does is gives you a little Bangle Nuts drum, and it basically is kind of like a metal detector, except it's an Avocot detector. You can ask him what he's selling. Say, for example, if you need like a bit of patch leather, moronite, scrap iron, you can purchase these using Drax. But they are quite prevalent throughout the for the journey as well. So what I might do though is just grab like maybe 10 patch leather and see if I need any more. But I'll just do that for now. It's not a necessity. You do definitely get quite a bit of materials coming through. The more you journey as well. So what I'm going to do is just pick up anything that comes through. It's just to gain enough of the materials, so once we obtain our Ancestor, that is able to craft our weapons, basically everything that we need to utilize in the game. And there's a nice chest there as well. If the enemies aren't like blocking your attack, essentially, you'll be able to use the Clash ability. With the breakability of the environment, it's predominantly boxes and crates. They do drop little bag items, just ensuring that you collect everything that you come across. This is very beneficial for future bond leveling with the blacksmith, Tubal Kane, which is the Ancestor that we're going to be finding as well. So we'll just go through, grab all of these bits and pieces, and continue on. And hopefully we can find the Banneret, which is quite close. So you can see here, if you open up your map, the nameplates unfortunately don't show as readily, but it's ridding the SInecure pillagers, which are in this area as well. You can melee throw or use your bow and arrow or your flyblade secondary weapons to be able to break those balloons. They usually have quite a good surplus of materials in there as well. And luckily the the blue flames don't necessarily do too much damage to us at this point in the game at the moment. This is a soul gate. You can use this to transfer yourself back to the start of the dungeon, but for now, we won't do that, but I can showcase that once we finish the dungeon as well. There's always two ways to finish and complete a dungeon. If you want to be able to run outside again and regenerate the dungeon, you can do so. So you can leave and then come back. But for this one, I'm just going to go through and take care of the Sparrowtail. And these heavy units generally do drop quite a bit of stuff as well. So as you can see, the little drum that we've got is shaking green, and it's got like a little green tether. That's saying, hey, you've got little Avocot hanging out, and they'll pop out of the ground. So it looks like we've got roughly 2 more to find. I'm just going to run up here and see if we've got any enemies hanging around, which we do, which is great. And Soulframe is definitely based on the explorative Inquisitor as well, so it's definitely benefiting you to explore as much as you possibly can. I'm probably going to rush through the dungeon a little bit more, just so we get this one done and dusted, and then we can move on to the new Ancestor that we've got to acquire, and obtain the Juniper bow, the third and last fragment for the bow. There we go, we've got a smite on him, and that was a red soul, and as you can see, that fully regenerates my health and minimizes any other damage that's incoming, which is absolutely awesome. And these shield enemies aren't too bad. If you just let them kind of wave their shield around a little bit, you can kind of kite around them and sidestep their attacks. There we go. And there we go. And as you can see, using the rotation of the weapons, the Pact abilities, they do generate quite quickly, which is really, really nice. And as you can see, the little bangle nuts are going off again, so there's one of the Avocots are nearer again. A nice swift backstab. And the more the bangle nuts shake, they start glowing green, and we should find another one. Nope, we've found a beaver. Okay, cool. And we've got a nice new level for our starter weapon as well. It is a good idea to jump into the Nightfold as often as you possibly can to add any of the points into your combat arts for your weapons and for your Pact as well. And there we go. We've just found the third one as well. And as you can see too, even as an early Envoy, it's definitely a bit difficult to manage your health and economy at the moment. And if you really want to, you can do a really nice heavy attack against these guys as well. Ah, nice backhand. Good thing too, the archers in the game are really not that good at aiming. There we go. We've got some nice strikes, some Ode Graphite. They'll come in handy later. And just a few more bits and pieces through here as well. So we should have at least one more enemy. If you see these hanging traps, I guess. You can throw your weapon, and it generally will one-hit the enemy who's sitting out front. And there's a green smite. Using the soul mode, it just completely disintegrates them and regenerates our health. And just jumping and using the map, it looks like our enemy is just up these stairs. So we'll just run up there, and then that should be the completion of our Sparrowtail. The UI could slightly be bugged though. It does look like they're over here. We will find them. However, here's some weapon racks, scrap steel, and scrap iron. That's going to be very useful for later as well. So definitely keep an eye out for the weapon racks. For points of interest, if you're like curious to see if there's something in and around the area, press and hold your soul mode button, and it should highlight any sort of special kind of item or character within the area. And the way that you can tell it's active is just the nice glow that the Pact has. All of the Pacts have an unique animation or coloration that is active when the Sparrowtail, the soul mode is active as well. So there's a nice little bag just hanging out there, some Drax. And I'm hoping these are the end of the Sinecure. Sometimes the UI will be a bit buggy and show that there's enemies near, but it may not be the particular ones that you're searching for. So just have a look around and make sure that you explore the area pretty thoroughly. And hopefully these ones are the ones that we're specifically looking for to finish off the Sparrowtail as well. And you will come across rooms as well. Lots of weapon racks, items, smashing barrels, etc. Sometimes there's a barrel that will be behind these ones, but as you can see, there's one just here as well. So it does switch different areas, so it's not a guarantee that the chest will be in the exact same place. Most of the tile sets are generally pre-generated, meaning that they'll generally have a similar layout, and sometimes that will change. But you do become more familiar with each tile set that you interact with, especially more with the dungeons at least. And the same kind of concept with the Cicade event as well. Interesting. It says that they're right behind me, but there is no one there. So I'm going to run down here. Oh, and we got the bangle nuts gone again. Okay, so we do have one little more avocot to find, it seems. And it looks like that we're getting warmer. There we go. And you got some nice experience and a good level. Cool.
Ah, damn. I thought that was gonna be a good one, that was. Ah.
You're welcome, Avocot. Now, most of the Dermac or underground dungeons, this is essentially the end of the dungeon. It will always show this area, the big rock opening up, and you'll see this big idol door at the very end. To the right hand side, there's generally a chest always sitting here. For the most time, sometimes not, but 90% of the time there is. If you come down the left hand part of the stairs and then move through here, you'll come up and you'll find another chest just before entering the dungeon, or exiting the dungeon rather. Cool, there we go. That should be our Sparrowtail complete. And sometimes the chest will generate there once you exit the dungeon as well. And the dungeons do exit at different points around the map as well. So we entered in over near Ulmul, which is just over here, and the exit is roughly here as well. So now that we've got another little letter, this one has come up just on the UI, just north of where we've exited. So we're going to go find that one, and we're going to go see what it says. I'm just having a look around for any of the chests. Sometimes there's a chest there, there, or just around through this archway, just at the right-hand side, just sitting here. And it should be sitting over here, right near the soul gate as well. And there we go. It's just there. And this is another little letter from Orlick. I write to you now with a quill. Return to me. I would be writing in my book, if not for the ruckus, the ode blast away our histories. I cannot focus. I know you will fix this. Vexedly yours, Orlick. Essentially saying, I'm really ticked off. I really need you to go find some stuff. So, with that one out of the way, we do have another Sparrowtail, which is a level 3. But before that, we'll go see the silence the pillaging SInecure. So this is the Steel Singer. This is the quest to go find Tubalcane. And to find her, it is heading east as well. If you can't find her initially, have a look at a round circle that's drawn on the map. So this is where we're looking for. And this is just passing through the Carlisle, which is this particular area here. And this is the fort as well. These two are very good areas to go and farm a lot of enemies. Each time that you log in, I would highly recommend going and taking these guys on. But do be aware though, at Fort Carlisle, that one can generate quite high level enemies, and you might find difficulty taking them down. And before I just head off to find the Steel Singer Tubalcane, I will upgrade some of the combat arts and the Pact as well. So we don't have any long blade, but we do have at least 1 point for the Tethrin. So what I might do for this instance, instead of using Grace, I'm going to add the deal damage on Smite, and then we'll back out of there. Cool. Alright, it is time to find Ms. Tubalcane. This is a really, really nice quest. Really, really nice. It's beautifully done. It really sets the foundation for a really interesting relationship, I would say, for the Envoy and Tubalcane. There we go. And you do see some villagers entering in and around the world as well, so they are pretty cool. The dogs, they will be quite aggressive. All you've got to do is just bash their helmet off, and then they end up running away. And we'll just jump through the squirrels. I hope you guys have a really nice freedom time as well. And this is the idol that we come across with the corrupted stag, which is located just here, a little bit north of, I'm not too sure what that area is called, so I'm not even going to try. But we do have some other motes that we can collect along the way. So let's go see if we can go find little golden orbs. There is one floating just here. So we'll use our soul mode. We'll absorb that one.
More memories.
And as you can see too, there should be another little icon that pops up at the top with some little googly eyes, meaning that there is another mote hanging around here as well. So we've just got to search around and find that little guy. They will generally pop up, for the most part, the similar areas each time that you pop into the game. But it doesn't look like that we've got a secondary one here. So we'll just move forward with the Tubalcane quest. And we can follow through with Flappy Bird if he wants to go the right way. But as I mentioned before, if Flappy Bird's misbehaving, just follow the compass UI. So we're heading directly east. And this is the Carlisle city or town. You'll come across this one quite regularly. And just up there is Fort Carlisle. Really, really good farming spot for a lot of fragments and quite strong enemies as well. So we've got some little moats that we can probably pick up around the area here. So we'll have a little bit of a look around. And I will try not to aggravate these guys. They can just hang out for the moment. So you can just jump through this little wall here, come through here, and there we go. There's a little moat here. We love eating those little moats, the little soul moats. And we'll just sneak around and see if we can find another moat along the way. It doesn't seem like I can get some luck with the moat, so that's okay. And to note as well, we do have a pact that will come across in time, which will allow you to essentially have access to kind of like a semi-form. Oh, there we've got a smite on that dog. And it breaks its helmet, and we got some health back as well. Dope. And we got a nice chest. And this area here, this one is called Oro's Well. So that one is directly east of Fort Carlisle. You can come down here, and sometimes, I believe Avocot here is here most times, and you can have a bit of a chinwag with him. And he gives you compliments about having long legs, which is great. I'm not interested in buying anything, but what I am interested in is that chest and the moat. And as you can see, we've just updated some of the letters or the translation for this area, and then we can leave and continue on our way. And with collecting the moats within Soulframe, it's just taking time. So each time that you log into the game, you will obtain more of the moats that you come across as well. So this is the area of where Two Volcanes quest, or the Fable, will start. So I'm just going to take this one down, because I don't like shielded enemies. Do keep in mind, though, sometimes the SInecure will be really sneaky, and they'll put landmines on the ground, but it looks like we don't have any landmines, so it's good to scour the area just a little bit, just to see whether or not they've pushed those onto the ground. And if you do, you can melee throw your weapon to be able to make them explode and take on the enemies that are around as well. If you can draw them near it, it's very beneficial. It's more of like a horizontal explosive damage, but it will take you out pretty quickly though, so do be mindful of that. Alright, so we've got some of these guys, the SInecure, there's lots of them here, and as you can see, even being low level, you can get taken out pretty quick. But because we did the wingspan node for the Pact, it gives us a little bit more time and just a little bit more speed to be able to jump back into our frame as well. So I am using the Bellist, but I am getting a lot of damage mitigation, so I just popped both of the first and second ability. But I am going to be aggravate these guys pretty quickly. So the good thing about Clash is just giving you a little bit more breathing room. But they will definitely take you out pretty quickly. So another good thing too is just kite them around and take out the archers, because they can be really painful, especially when there's multiple of them too, and they are level 10. And you can do that multiple times essentially. So what I might do is just give myself a bit more breathing room and run away a little bit There is no shame in running away. And just splitting them up, it just makes it a little bit easier to take them on. There we go. There's that guy, and hello, you're all alone, friend. There we go. And we got a nice level on the longsword aside that. Once you've taken those guys out, you will see a, like, helm just sitting on the ground. And you will slow down once you pick it up. But you can press down your run button to make yourself move a little bit faster. So Flappy Bird's decided to show up, and the UI popped up and said carry the helm to their location as well. And if you're not sure where that is, you can just press your heavy or weapon switch, and it will show you a little bit more of an area within the cloud area, but we haven't obtained the world tree that allows us to see that just yet. So we'll walk through here, and there will be enemies just around here. So I would say drop the helm in a safe location relatively, and try to minimize these guys running up on you. And it's a good idea to always jump out of that pentagram trap that the red SInecure always tend to throw down. It will chew away your health pretty quickly. And as you can see too, like the abilities of the Pact with that akin node being active within the Pact tree, it definitely regenerates your abilities a lot faster than what it would naturally. And don't try to pick up the helm like I do. Not the most effective way to take these guys on. There we go. 2 in 1. And if you take the enemy out just before they activate that trap, it will minimize the trap and it'll just dissipate, which is good. So we've taken out all of those enemies. Luckily, I was able to drop that helm. And we'll just continue on our way with Flappy Bird to Vulcane. It's a bit of a jaunt, but I'm sure it's good for legs.
I never wore Karna's Moonsteel helm, and never will I deserve to.
So as we get to Vulcane's location, you'll start hearing a little bit of her dialogue as well. And there are some enemies along here, so we'll just drop the helm and continue our shenanigans. And we've got a red smite there, so we got some health back, which is awesome. There we go. And there is a heavy unit just up there as well. So I'll just jump up there and we'll take him out. And the good thing is too, Flappy Bird just sits with the helm, so it locates exactly where you've dropped it. So if you ever get lost where the helm is, Flappy Bird should be sitting there and helping you identify its location a little bit easier as well. There we go. Take him out and grab the Drax, and then we'll grab the helm. And now we get to meet one of the most important ancestors of the Soulframe journey, 2 Vulcani.
I am 2 Vulcani, not Kane, my father's father. Not the greatest steel singer in all the world, but the worst who ever lived. Share not your envoy heart with me.
And now we get to invite her into our Nightball.
I am the glove of thumbs, the blight of ingots, the waste of coal. Forged of bolts.
And there we have it. The Steel Singer 2 Vulcani is now ours. So what we'll do, jump into the Nightball. We've got some nice levels as well. And once you come back into the Nightball, you can look over to your right and you'll see a blue star. And we'll go reintroduce ourselves to 2 Vulcani.
So death breaks not my bind to bellows. Find you fragments slain by time, and I will try to see them whole. But no, I never wore Kane's Moonsteel helm, and never will I deserve to.
I will say this one thing though. She really needs a hug. Okay, 2 Vulcani, the blacksmith, steel singer of Soulframe. She is one of the most integral ancestors that we'll come across. To start off with, we start off at a rank 1 bond with 2 Vulcani. And to be able to increase that bond over time, we will be collecting fragments of weapons and leveling those. With our rank, as being starting of 1, we level up to 3. What the game tends to do is say, hey, here's a flat tier 1 list that you can craft. So as you can see, I've got a ready to craft with a VASP 4 halberd, and it looks like I've got just enough of the materials that I need and the Drax, and the build time is 4 hours. Its art is a polearm, its damage is sharp, its achievement is courage, which is perfect because we have the Pact of the Tethrin, which is the courage based achievement. Its attack is 58, 102 charged attack. Its smite isn't too bad. So what I'm going to do is start assembling that. And what that will help do, once I acquire that
Yet you hold me still.
and start leveling in
Fine.
the next video,
Be my vessel then,
I will be able to start utilizing that.
failed together.
But for now, what I'm going to continue to do is to level the Pact itself of Tethrin and the Wuldor starter sword. So at least I've got more than enough points to continue building my bond with 2 Vulcani. If you jump back to your fragments, you do have the requirements not met. So say for example, I found one of these and I've got insufficient materials. I need to get a little bit more of the Sprout Break front, which actually I lie. It is the scrap brass. I've only got 4 pieces out of 15. Sometimes with meeting Abacot in the open world, his little Abacot's shop, sometimes we'll have that particular material in its rotation. It's not a guarantee. The scrap brass is more efficiently farmed throughout your dungeons from the weapon racks. As you guys saw before, there's the scrap brass and the scrap steel. Scrap brass seems to drop a little bit less frequently than the steel does. So to build the Precklys, that is what I'll need, is to get more of the scrap brass. But for the scrap steel, I've got the perfect amount, 15 out of 15. And the Sprout Brick front, those drop like candy. As you can see, I've got 41 out of 25. And it's a 4-hour build and 1500 Drax. And I've certainly meet those 2 requirements as well. So once I get enough of those materials of scrap brass, the new area of saying ready to craft will let me know, okay, you can build this now. To note on the Rose's Bodkin, this is the item that I was referring to when we first met Vengetar in the Kith of Kings. The Rose's Bodkin is a totem necklace that allows us access to another faction, which is the Grey Space faction of the Silent Rose. And it's just a little necklace that we have. So with the Sacred Shimmer, I do have to rank my current faction up to rank 3 to be able to acquire a shard of Sacred Shimmer. Now, what I was mentioning before with that is while I'm ranking my particular faction, I'm going to purchase 2 of these when I get the required, I believe it's 3k standing with my faction. As I'm leveling up to level 4 and 5, I'm going to build 2 of these. And what that's going to help you guys do is gain access to the other 2 factions whenever you choose to transfer over to them. And once you transfer to a different faction, it takes, I think, roughly 5 days for the timer to run down, but the game will allow and let you know, hey, you've got this many hours until you can change faction again. Which is really, really cool because it really opens up a huge roster of different weapons. Even some of like the RNG with the factions as well. The faction of Silent Rose seems to drop a few different rarer weapons and the fragments alongside them as well. And same with Kith of Kings. You'll see in the future videos that come through. Being part of Kith of Kings, when I run some of the Sparrowtails on the tier 3 star, we will see particular specialer or like more rare weapons, fragments drop from completing those Sparrowtails. And that is what's going to build you a really healthy economy of materials that you're going to need to build, say, your weapons, your different armor pieces as well. So it does look like that I've gotten quite a few different fragments as well, which is awesome. The Oran Umber I've been able to acquire as well. This one here, I've got to have a Tubal Carnes Bond 2. So unfortunately for now, because I'm rank 1, I haven't built enough items with her to be able to acquire the required level bond with her. But that will be happening over time as we go through. With Garen Rude, we obtained from the Tormented Stag, we do obtain his equipment and his Pact as well, but that does require a bond level 3. That does look like it's going to take a lot of time, but it really doesn't in the whole aspect of things. The best way to acquire materials is just to farm, explore, obtain your world trees, open up the map, and just continue exploring. So we've got the Regalia, we've got the Crown and the Cloven Hose outfit for Garen Rude, but we've also gotten the Royal Tines, which are short blades, and they are a 3-star spirit attunement. This is really, really good weapon. I highly recommend building these. They're really, really fun. Their smite is 3 chance in 50 hits, and the design of these blades is pretty cool as well. But you would probably receive fragments of the Rived 2, which are another short blade, or dual short blade, and they are really, really, really nice as well. And to note as well, we do have the design of the Juniper, but it also requires 2 Vulcanes Bond level 2. And you can see here as well, Ursula, they have a Bond 2, and the Bog and Myrtle, which is a sword and board. Unfortunately, the shield doesn't show up in the UI just yet. And the Blazon Placard is just a little bit of a chest piece armor from the Kith of Kings, which is pretty cool. It's got like a little bit more of a sun design. So that is how to acquire the Tubal Carne as well. And as promised, I will show you guys the very last fragment that we can acquire for the Juniper Bow, which is luckily just over this side as well. So just a little bit more like northwestish of where we find Tubal Carne. There is a idol just around this area, which is northwest of the Curlau as well. So we're going to go grab that, and I'll be wrapping up the guide for this particular part in the series, and I really hope that you guys have enjoyed the live on this one as well. It's been a really, really cool experience being able to put these together as well. And just to disclaim as well, as time goes on, Soulframe being a pre-alpha game, things will change over time. And if there is information that you guys do see or receive as well on top of what the guides are putting out, I will be putting updated information on them as well. So this is the last and final piece of the Juniper bow, which in this particular starting area, in the last 2 episodes, we found the first world tree, which is just down here, and this is the starting area there. And then as we walked all the way through, that was the second world tree that we've acquired as well. And there we go. We will activate the last idol, and we will obtain the final piece of the Juniper bow.
Master Beaver, surely back to pay your debt of stolen fishes. No, no net of human minnows am I. Fill the war, a bore. South him to the Rose, maybe. Oh. Oh.
And there we go. We've got the final memory and the final fragment of the Juniper bow. Wonderful. And there we have it. So what we'll do is wait for the VASP4 to finalize its progress, and we will continue on in the rest of the series as well. And Juniper, I would love to build you, but unfortunately you are a bond level 2 Volcane. So we'll be stepping into that a little bit further into the series, but for now I will say ciao.